Cinderella is a cyborg, Rapunzel is trapped in a space satellite, classic fairy tale characters meet a sci-fi futuristic world in Marissa Meyer's The Lunar Chronicles. Each of these books focuses on a different classic princess. In Cinder, Cinder is Cinderella, Scarlet, Red Riding Hood, Cress, Rapunzel, and Winter, Snow White. Marissa Meyer takes the themes of each of these classic fairy tale stories, but she places them in a high-tech world. For example, in Cinder, the first book, Cinder is a cyborg whose best friend is Aiko, an android. We follow Cinder as she struggles with a stepmother who hates her and wants to get her out of her apartment. But as this is going on, we also follow Prince Kai, who has recently become the new leader of New Beijing. The whole story throughout the series becomes more complex as Earth battles a deadly disease and encounters intergalactic conflict with the people of the moon, who are led by the vicious Queen Lavanna. In this quote from Cinder, we see Cinder and Aiko discussing whether or not Cinder can go to Prince Kai's ball. "You're being unreasonable," said Aiko. "Maybe you can trade for a dress or get one on consignment. I've been dying to go into that vintage dress store on Sakura. You know the one I mean." Cinder shuffled around the random tools that had collected beneath the work table. "It doesn't matter, I'm not going." "But it does matter, it's the ball and the prince." "Aiko, I'm fixing an android for him. It's not like we're friends now." Mentioning the prince's android sparked a memory, and a moment later Cinder pulled the floor jack out from beneath its tread. "And it doesn't matter because Adri will never let me go. She said if you fix the hover..." "Right, and after I fix the hover, what about Peony's port screen that's always acting up? What about..." She scanned the room and spotted a rusty android tucked away in the corner. "What about that old Guard 7.3? "What would Adri want with that old thing? She doesn't have a garden anymore. She doesn't even have a balcony." "I'm just saying that she has no real intention of letting me go. As long as she can come up with things for me to fix, my chores will never be done." Cinder shoved a couple jack stands into her bag, telling herself that she didn't care. Not really. She wouldn't fit in at a formal ball anyway, even if she did find dress clothes and slippers that could hide her metal monstrosities. Her moussey hair would never hold a curl, and she didn't know the first thing about makeup. She would just end up sitting off the dance floor and making fun of the girls who swooned to get Prince Kai's attention, pretending she wasn't jealous, pretending it didn't bother her. Although she was curious about the food. And the prince did know her now, sort of. He had been kind to her at the market. Perhaps he would ask her to dance, out of politeness, out of chivalry when he saw her standing alone. The precarious fantasy crashed down around her as quickly as it had begun. It was impossible, not worth thinking about. She was a cyborg, and she would never go to the ball. I enjoy the Lunar Chronicles because of the creative, futuristic world with these classic characters, the well-developed characters that are introduced in each book, as well as the suspense that carries out throughout the whole series and ends with an epic finale at the end. If you like creative twists on fairy tales and sci-fi futuristic worlds, check out the Lunar Chronicles.